Another day, another days. We're recapping this week. Coming up next.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Why, good afternoon, all of you lovely Days of Our Lives fans. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's DISHIN Days, where we give you a full recap of this week's episodes of Days of Our Lives. I'm your host, Tony Moore, and I am joined by my wonderfully talented, beautiful, all things knowing co-host of co-hosts.
Oh, me!
No, Matthew.
Mark J. Freeman in the house!
And
there is a new link.
Hopefully you guys
Hold on, I'm trying to grab it here.
Are tuning in.
Oh, here, share. Copy link. Okay, I'm going to put it on my Instagram, and we'll tweet it through.
Perfect. It looks like some people got the link, so welcome.
I'm
everyone.
assuming that DISHIN, like AfterBuzz, tweeted it out. Well.
Yes.
But let me see if I can find it and grab it. Or live DISHIN Days. I'm going to retweet it right now.
There we go.
All
and if you guys are watching live, thank you. And if you haven't already, make sure you like and follow us on social media. We are DISHIN Days on Facebook and Instagram, and @ DISHIN Days on Twitter. Sorry, the @ was implied.
As it should be.
Yes. Oh, and also just an update, as you guys know, Matthew Evan Payne tweeted earlier this week that he is still back home visiting family, so we wish him all the best while he spends time with his family in Boston.
Yes, we wish him all the best.
All the best.
All the best.
How was it last week? You missed me, I know.
I think we remembered about 3/4 of the way through the show that you weren't here. I was like, oh, wait, you guys probably wonder where Tony is.
So rude. So rude.
Yeah, me and Dave, we knocked it out of the ballpark. On the way out, the producers here at AfterBuzz asked him to replace you. And I hate to be the one to break it to you on air, but you're being replaced.
You can't replace greatness. It's already here.
So, Dave Carey, you come on back. You hear?
Dave Carey, come on down.
You hear?
And also, you guys, don't forget to support our fellow sister shows. Right after DISHIN Days, we have
Restless Wrap Up.
Restless Wrap Up.
So change the order a little bit.
And then GH Report, followed by Bold Breakdown. So make sure you tune into those shows as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you think about this week? I couldn't wait to get in here and talk to you about it.
I felt like it was a lot of repetition for me. I kept feeling like I'm hearing the same dialogue over and over and over again, which, I don't like. Fridays was great. I think we all knew, we were going to get our first glimpse of Will's return, which we all knew was just going to be him walking into frame and then going to black, fade to black. Not John Black.
But nothing wrong to fade into black.
Nothing wrong with fading to black.
Been doing it for some decades now.
So yeah, I was kind of, ups and downs. I had some ups and downs.
You had some,
but we will discuss.
You had some ups and downs, some leaps and bounds.
Leaps and bounds, ups and downs.
I have to say, I am now finding myself looking forward to watching Days.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't, not that it's ever been a burden, but
there's been times it was a burden.
But it's kind of been like, ooh, like I really want to know what's going to happen this week. And I generally sometimes feel surprised that like the direction that it goes in sometimes. I'm always like, yeah, throughout the week. So it feels good.
Yeah. No, I said ups and downs, hills and valleys, good and bad. I'm feeling it. I'm digging it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
All right. Well, without further ado.
Adieu.
Adieu. It is now time to start DISHIN Days.
I almost said Restless Wrap Up.
It is now time to start DISHIN Days.
And she's flipped.
Thanks. Oh, no, honey. You'd never be flipped.
All
right.
right, let me get back to the chat room so I can see what's going on in there.
All right, so
I left momentarily. There we go.
Let's kick things off with Hattie, Marlena, John, Andre, and the Hand at Bayview.
And the Hand at Bayview. I saw in the chat room they were discussing prior to us coming on air
who that hand might
who
be.
that hand may belong to. Who do you think it is? Or do you want to guess? Or
well, I thought it was Andre, but then I was like, why aren't they just showing him? And then when fans started mentioning it, I was like, oh, maybe it is someone else.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously somebody else.
Yeah, but I was
no guesses. Because do you think that? Okay, yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I'll
you go.
Well, no, because I don't want to say it because we haven't discussed it yet. So I don't want to jump topics because I would be jumping.
No, you go. We're already like there.
No, because this is not about what you're talking about.
Well, we're talking about everything. Just go.
Well, I say, do you think it's Will? Because I don't know that necessarily what we saw is real.
Right.
If that makes sense. I don't know why I'm avoiding saying it. It's not like everybody hasn't watched the episodes. So when at the very end, the weekends with Will walking into the church.
Right.
But it's obviously Lucas is drunk. So is this him hallucinating? Is he passed out and dreaming this? So just because we're seeing him at the end of the week doesn't mean that couldn't have been his arm earlier in the week.
But then it's like, why would he be in Bayview?
Well, we're going to find this out. He's still alive. To my left, my right. Thank you.
Thanks, Steven. Let's give a big round of applause to Steven, our engineer.
Keeping me in check. Thank you.
Well, he's been working so hard trying to get us our show started, so thanks.
Yeah, we're in a different studio today because we couldn't get that one working.
So things weren't working.
So that's why the brick wall behind us.
I really haven't given it much thought as to who the Hand could be. I thought it was Andre, and I just kind of left it at that.
I wasn't sure. I think my first thought was that it was Will, but then I saw what people were writing in the chat room, and I was like, oh, that
could be an option too.
That's an option too.
But we're not going to talk about that option because we don't discuss spoilers.
Right. But
you two can put two.
But they'll figure it out in the chat room.
Yeah.
Or look in the comments below after we post this on YouTube because I'm sure it will be discussed there as well.
Exactly. I will say, so I hate the fact that Hattie got figured out this week. But I do kind of like the friend moment between her and Hope.
I actually really did.
What? You liked something of Hope? Mark this down. September 17th, 2017 at approximately
TV exclusive.
at approximately 4:26 p.m. Mark J. Freeman liked something of Hope Williams Brady.
Yeah.
Soon to be Hernandez.
Yeah. I mean, it was, again, when I had said this a couple weeks ago, I don't know if you were here or if I was with somebody else, because I don't know, you just never show up.
One time, you don't show up one time.
The whole idea of it being Hope that putting it together, because it never dawned on me that she had never seen Hattie as Marlena.
Right.
And that she would put that all together. So that, just going off of that and then having that moment of them together in the room, I thought was really great. And I thought Deidre Hall knocked it out of the ballpark.
Yeah.
Just watching that, her trying to fight, saying it and admitting of who she was and all the stuff, and then giving into Hope and da-da-da and stuff, I thought was great. I really did. It really did. It was almost going to be my quote of the week. Loved when Hope read her rights and she was like, "Can we do it again?" I loved that. It was just great.
Well, the other moment I liked was when Hope saw the bag and was like, "I've seen the clothes you pinned on Pinterest. So those are your clothes in that bag and not Marlena's."
Yeah.
And then the bag came out and we saw all this wonderful colored prints and things that Marlena would never wear.
Right.
And for that moment, Hattie had this little breakdown like, "Don't touch my things."
Yeah.
And it was like, it was such a moment, because also I felt like Hope felt bad too. Like, it was like, I think she understood that she wasn't doing this maliciously.
Right.
But she kind of has to pay for what she did.
Daquan says it best. It was better, Tony, because Hope was nowhere near Rafe. That's why it was great. Touche, Daquan. Touche. Me and Daquan have been agreeing a lot lately.
Yeah.
And it frightens me.
Well,
you know what I think it is? I think he's just starting to embrace my opinions and my ideas.
Don't do that.
And he's taking...
Don't do it.
So...
Don't do that. But yeah, I'm glad that the pieces of the puzzle came together just in the nick of time before they got the shock therapy.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that, you know what? I love the, like, intermingling of characters. I liked Roman and Paul together.
Yep. I've been noticing a lot more of that.
Yeah.
I have definitely noticed a lot more of that with Ron's writing. That you're definitely seeing, even when Kate was kind of back with Roman.
Yeah.
And had that moment, you're like, thank you for reminding everybody that whether it was good or bad, they had a moment together. So,
but girl, that press conference though. I know that was from last week, and it kind of went into this week. But I was like, oh girl, like what a spectacle Andre tried to put on with that press conference. And then when Marlena dropped that ball and said he was mentally unstable, I died.
Yeah, it was great.
Well, Hattie. So yeah, so there's that, and then we move into Bonnie and Sheila,
right?
Bonnie is now just trying to keep it together. I thought for 2 seconds they were gonna try this thing where Bonnie was gonna hit on Victor, but I think they're just further showing,
which they did last week.
Yeah, and then it went into this week, and then she's like, no, I just want to talk to you openly.
Yeah,
and I think now Victor's looking at her like, girl, we not close like that for you to be talking to me and all open. Yeah. So now Victor has kind of raised suspicions.
Yes.
Now that, and then, I love when Bonnie found out that Hattie had been arrested. Oh. And the whole debacle. Oh well, the figurine first of all, but the whole debacle in the Salem PD.
Oh yeah.
Like I was like, girl, keep your story together, girl.
But I will say this: I love everything about what Judy Evans was wearing. That pantsuit with the blouse with the purse. Yeah, I was like, that is my everything. Yeah, I want that.
That's a Lorraine Love.
That is a definite Lorraine Love look.
Definite Lorraine Love.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. But
I highly doubt me and Judy Evans are the same size.
But her just trying to like keep everything like together.
Yeah.
And making sure Hattie doesn't tell Justin that it was her, which I was like, I don't think Hattie would. I think she would say it was Angelica, which she did.
Right.
But that was also a great moment when Bonnie, Adrian, was then convinced Justin to take on Hattie's case.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I liked it. It was. Again, I think once those characters are gone, I think we're gonna. I'm hoping they replace those funny with some new funny.
Some new funnies.
Because I'm enjoying it. Mostly Deidre Hall. I just think that Hattie is a hoot.
She is a hoot. What do you think about Sheila?
I loved Sheila.
I first of all can't get over that it's T-Boz. Yeah. And I like that there was a little moment where oh my god, I can't remember what Bonnie said first, but then I think Sheila was realizing how close she looked to Adrian. Yeah. And then she was like, they tell me all the time that I look like this singer. Yeah. And I was like, oh, you clever beavers. Clever beavers. But I was a little irritated because I wanted Sheila to just expose Bonnie and give Justin the card. Yeah. When that didn't happen, I found it hilarious that she is now the maid, which Maggie is not having. Maggie was like, Bonnie,
you need to run the ship by me.
Oops, exactly. Sorry. No, it's okay. Yeah. But I also love that Sheila went back to the jail to basically tell Adrian, I'm not going to help you.
Right.
And then was kind of just like, girl, you only got 2 years and you'll be out.
Right.
But then I was like, Sheila, no, you're going to end up back in jail too.
Yeah. Well, I was saying last week, I actually really loved how the idea that Adrian wrote in the card, the message, like I thought it was smart and clever. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like I like that idea that it wasn't something that I expected, you know?
Yeah.
And then when they showed, last week ended with Sheila showing up and Justin answered the door, because all I kept thinking was, well, she's going to go and Bonnie's going to see her and intercept it. But then when the doorbell rang and Justin answered the door, I was like, oh.
It's about to go down.
Yeah.
Yeah, until they walked in and she's like, what are you doing here?
Yeah, right. So then that's one of the things that I kind of was getting frustrated with, is like, because I was like, I really like that they're kind of moving this along and they're not doing the predictable stuff.
Yeah.
But then the predictable stuff started happening again. I was like, ugh. I just, like, with, you know, Hattie going to tell Justin and then Bonnie coming in and stopping her and like all that kind of stuff. Like that's the stuff that I'm just like, I could do less of that.
Yeah.
But it's good. I mean, I'm not by any means trying to put it down, but there's just, you know, ups and downs. It's what I do here. Give my opinion.
That's what you're supposed to do here. Is give your
That's
opinion.
what I'm doing.
So that was that. I had that as Bonnie and Sheila. That was our second little storyline there. And trucking right along, I have Brady, Eric, and Nicole. The only thing there that happened,
a lot of the same. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Most of their scenes were repetitions.
Yeah.
Over and over. Like all week, I kept writing the same thing.
It was the flashbacks.
The flashbacks. Brady questioning Nicole. Then Nicole saying she wants to take the job. Then Nicole saying, no, I'm not going to take the job. Then Brady saying you shouldn't take the job. And Brady saying you should take the job. Eric telling everybody that Nicole doesn't work here anymore. Like, it was just the same thing repeated all week long. That's, again, that's one of the things that kind of got under my skin this week. Because it's like, oh my God, okay, I get it.
And then I started, with that, I started thinking like, well, sheesh, if you didn't watch last week, then like, you can always catch up this week because they're going to go back and like...
Yeah. There was a lot of flashbacks this week. A lot.
There were. What do you think of this whole thing with Brady, Eric, and Nicole? Like, obviously, Eric has feelings for Nicole. Nicole is saying like it's nothing, but Brady is still very suspicious. How are you feeling about this?
The first thing I have to say about scenes with Brady this week is I love his blazer.
Oh, Brady?
I keep loving what they're giving him to wear.
Wearing.
I don't know if he's picking it. Eric, are you picking your stuff? Because I tweeted him not too long ago about a jacket he was wearing. Mm-hmm. I want to know where he got the blazer. And I wonder if we're the same size. And I could wear that. Take it home.
I can let you know that you're probably not the same size.
I'm a little more petite. Is that what you're trying? I'm going to be... I'll belt it, girl. I'll belt it. I'll give it to Lorraine and belt it.
New dress.
Bedazzled lip collar. I got some new dress, girl.
Call it a day.
No, I mean, it's obviously going somewhere. I'm gonna wait and give it a minute.
Are you gonna be a fan with open arms?
I'm gonna be a relative fan with open arms. I still feel the only way it's really going to be justified for her to go to Eric is the baby. So I'm still sticking with what I've been saying. I think somehow that baby is going to end up being Eric and Nicole's.
I don't know. I feel like...
Ron, if you're listening.
Nicole is suppressing her feelings for Eric. And
absolutely.
Is not obviously aware. I don't think it's going to have anything to do with the baby. I just think that she kind of thinks she's in love with Brady.
Or something just popped into my head. Crazy situation. That hasn't really happened very much in my life. Maybe they're gonna find somebody for Eric and it's gonna make her jealous. It's an option. Maybe he's gonna go gay and I'm gonna get a call and say, hey girl, we need you to do love scenes with Greg Vaughn since Matthew's in Boston.
What would Billy Flynn think of that?
Billy would be very supportive.
Would he?
He knows that it would just be for camera. I love that you didn't ask what my husband would think. You asked what Billy would think.
Absolutely. Because I feel like in your world...
Be careful. You don't want to go too far into my world.
No.
You may not come out the same.
No. We're not going to go deep, as many have. But I feel like it's Billy, Philip. Wine.
That's probably very good.
Oh, I'm sorry. Billy, Philip, the dogs. Wine.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got to give the dogs a little bit.
Yeah, we do. Oh my gosh, who lets us host this show?
I know, right? Whose idea was this?
Well, there was this whole
over the Eric Nicole Brady storyline. Ari's leaving, so what's the point, in my opinion?
Well, there's gonna be something happening. Oh, I will say, I thought it was just all weird that Brady was basically trying to convince her not to go back and just work at the community center because of Eric.
You thought that was weird.
Well, I just think this whole like jealous thing and like taking it to the bottle and all that kind of stuff. I'm just like, girl, get it together.
Oh, that was the thing. Like there's a lot of him glancing at the liquor cabinet.
Yeah, but over silly things like she's not here. Where is she? She must be with Eric.
Yeah.
I must go drink. Hey, yeah. Brady.
Yeah.
It's like, girl, like search the house first.
Yeah, you're in a mansion.
Yeah.
There's wings.
Yeah. It's like
girl, get lost going to the bathroom.
Okay. You run into Sheila, not like just sitting there eating potato chips, watching one of the TVs in the bathroom. Jeez Louise.
Something like
what? Oh. So I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm digging jealous Brady, but it does like pose for an interesting storyline.
Yeah,
this whole thing.
Well,
because you feel this like heat between Eric and Nicole again. It's like them being in the vent.
Yeah,
and Xander coming after him.
Oh shoot, what was I gonna say?
You probably forgot.
Oh, I was thinking this week too. It would be a dandy of a time for Miss Teresa Donovan to return.
Well, we all have dreams. Don't know if that's going to happen.
Just saying.
All right, so those were the top storylines pretty much that happened this week.
Yeah.
Now we're going to get into some tidbits.
Tiddly bitties.
Everybody got fired.
Yep.
Eli got fired.
Even though he ran a successful sting operation.
Yes, but it has to do with Gabby getting involved.
But he didn't involve Gabby.
He didn't, but I think what it is was his calculated almost mistake in shooting Rain when he had Gabby.
Whatever.
It's a technicality. But how are you feeling about the rekindling of Gabby and Eli?
I like it. I like it.
I thought there were some great moments this week.
It.
Like when they were having ice cream and
he was talking to Ari
about fried ice cream.
They were playing
and
the
to
Game
Martin
Boy
house.
like when they were
Girl, when they whipped out the Game Boy, I was like, we are really nostalgic. Like first of all, you must have had to hunt on eBay for that Game Boy.
Right.
And the fact that it still works.
Yeah.
Like, why not a Nintendo Switch or something?
Yeah. And what'd you think of the self-defense classes?
That happened in the room. You know what it reminded me of? The impromptu dance.
Yeah.
I
just feel like again, it's one of those things that they want things for flashbacks. They want things for when they can have a memory sequence of tender moments between them. It's like when you force it, it's like it's not as.
You know what I did like? That Julie didn't walk in still blaming Gabby for Nick.
Yeah. Well, and she even said that she's going to let him decide.
Yeah.
And he can have the house still, and she apologized. And
yeah. I like that all that was over.
Yeah.
So that was a great moment.
Yeah.
On to Theo, Claire, and Trip.
Who?
Theo.
Oh, your boy.
Oh, you just wanted me to repeat Theo again. God, you give a boy a compliment one time. One time.
I want to know who was in here before us that knew that you were going to be here and wrote on the board that Tyler.
Oh, is that our? Is that
our? That's your combo name, Tyler. Tony and Kyler. Tyler. Coney or Tyler?
Neither.
Tyler.
Anyway, so
hashtag Tyler, guys. You know what to do.
Anyway,
was he shirtless at all this week?
He was not.
Last week, because we talked about you then. That's I think when your name came up last week. Like,
so what do you think about...
This is the part of the show where Tony would be drooling.
What do you think about Theo, Claire, and Trip?
It seemed like it happened quick. Like, it was just like... Because I thought, especially when Trip was like, oh, girl, I got you. I can pretend to like you to make him jealous. I owe you. You know, you've been good to me. Blah, blah, blah. Click to... Girl. We need to be dating.
Yeah,
like, I was like, wait.
I don't want you to be his girlfriend. I want you to be my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then the confession of like, well, this is what kind of happened. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
But it all happened so quick. I feel like it's clearing the path for something to go down.
Marlon Wallace would like to know if Kyler Pettis hit on you, Tony. What would you do? Not to divert from the topic at hand, which is Days of Our Lives, but. What if you were sitting? Here's Tony Moore sitting at the Abbey, sipping a Malibu pineapple because she likes it sweet.
You know me so well, girl. You know me so well, girl.
And this hand touches your shoulder and says, "Tony, I've been waiting for you." What would you do?
Am I late?
And it was Billy.
I'd be like, Mark. I don't know what I honestly don't know what I would do. I would probably internally think it was hilarious until if he was like, no, I'm serious. I'm like, listen, girl, one thing I won't turn down is a free meal. Well, let's go to Shake Shack, girl.
Let's Shake Shack it up.
Let's Shake Shack it up, honey. Give me that Chick Shack. I don't like that.
No, so I mean it's okay. Again, I think it moved too quick. Again, so I said I like a lot of the stuff that's happening, but I also there's still some, and I don't know if those are things that are ever going to change. I might just have to like accept it and move on.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
It is what it is. What? Oh my God. This long hashtag. Bring back Aloma Wright. Bring back Maxine. Hire Tony Moore. Hashtag Maxine Son. Oh, I love it.
Oh, girl.
Okay, so then last we have Lucas.
Girl.
If there was ever a time where you just wanted to just give him a hug.
Right?
That's it. You just wanted to give him a hug.
I wasn't going to say hug, but
what would Billy think? And we have Billy Flynn here. No, I'm kidding.
Brian Datillo is slowly and steadily building an amazing Emmy reel. And if he doesn't get a nomination, I'll be upset. I'm not even going to push for a win because, as we know, it's all
politics.
Rigged. Because Steve Smith won this year or something like that. I don't remember his name.
Wait. Please, wait. What? Scott Clapton.
Who's Scott Clapton? Scott Clapton. Who?
Oh wait. It was. What? Who's Scott Clapton? Then it's God.
I'm done with this.
That clip.
So don't get too excited because unless he's, in the right politics of the Emmys, it may not happen. But I do think that he is knocking everything he does out of the ballpark. And thank you again to Ron for giving Brian Datillo these opportunities because I don't understand how they watched what he did when Will died and see what he's doing now and just not why he's not being utilized.
Yeah,
you know.
So
thank you, Ron.
Oh, he was so great and so compelling, and so like, and when he went off on everybody in church, and they all had these faces like,
that was me the last time I went to church.
But I think also it makes sense, because I think you have a moment in life where everything hits you really hard.
Yeah.
And it's that one thing, because I feel like there are some fans who understand, and there are some fans who are like, whoa, they just took that out of nowhere. But no, like with the loss of Adrian, you know, dumping him, it's like all of a sudden, it's like you're sitting at home and you're thinking about everything that has just happened, and like all the hurdles that you've had to get over, and you just can't take it.
Yeah.
And he just can't take it.
He can't took it? Is that a destination? Can't took it?
It's right next to Nantucket. So you got Nantucket
and
Kentucket.
And Kentucket.
Yep. All played by Eileen Davison.
Right, exactly.
So I thought his scenes were amazing. I thought that his interactions with everyone were great and made sense. From when he ran into Gabby and no. Well, first it started when he went over to Kate.
Yeah.
And Kate fired him. And he was just like, how can you do this to me? Like, I've lost everything, like da-da-da.
Yeah.
And then you see this first you kind of see a moment where Kate's like gonna be motherly, and then she took a business call.
Yeah.
And then like he left, and then you then see him in the square with Gabby, and Gabby notices right away, oh my God, you're drunk. Yeah. And you know, you see him kind of clinging on to like the last thing that he has,
right,
which is Ari.
Right.
And now, you know, you have Gabby saying, nope, that's not going to happen. Sonny is going to take her, you know, she can't be with you in this condition. To where he just snapped and went to the core and was like, hey, you!
Yeah.
You know, how dare you try to take, you won't take my granddaughter away from me. And everyone for a moment kind of stood there like, what?
Yeah. No, it was good.
But yeah, no, it was real good. Oh, and then all your marriages are gonna fail.
50% of marriages fail.
And you're 50% there.
One of you guys will fail or something like that. I loved when they took his keys and the liquor, and then when he sat down, he pulled the flask out of his bag. I was like, atta girl. She came with a plan B.
Yes, she did. And then that moment when Will walked in, it was just kind of like, oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna, next week's gonna be a good week. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Yeah. One other, because I don't have the list. I don't know if you have this on there, but the scene with Kate and Adrian/Bonnie.
Yes,
that was another good. Because it wasn't long. It was short,
but it was just
sweet,
enough.
But it was good.
It was just kind of enough to be like, look what you did to my son, and then a nice reminder of like, I was there for you.
Yeah.
During your whole cancer thing, and I forgot about that moment that they had.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of other moments, John and Marlena trying to figure out Adrian.
Well, and she's starting to put it together.
She is.
Marlena's starting to put it together. I don't think... See, again, and this is something we talked about last week, I think when you weren't here.
Because I was not here last week.
Was when Bonnie was on the show, Bonnie Lockhart. Was it ever discussed that she looked like Adrian? Everyone in the chat room and everything says they don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think it was one of those things where Judy Evans came in and played Bonnie.
Because they wanted Judy Evans.
Yeah, but it was never like, you look like
Adrian. Yeah. So that was my thing, is like, it was never discussed then. So I just feel like it's going to be awkward when it actually comes up.
Yeah.
Like, well, you guys never talked about it when she lived here for how long.
Right.
You know? So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
But I love how when Marlena was kind of trying to put it together and she said something that didn't make sense, and John was just kind of like, that's not it, Doc. Come on. It's almost like it's almost like John figured it out, but he's just kind of like, come on, Doc. Come on. Yeah. You got it. Come on. Yeah. So that's it. that was the week of days. And a quick shout out to the 142 people who are watching us live. Our numbers went up this week.
We like that.
We like that. We like it a lot. Please always continue to share this link. And a special shout out to all the admin people who are consistently sharing our link.
One other thing maybe we didn't discuss is
that?
the moment where Paul and Sonny tell Gabby about that Ari's going to be the flower girl, but not just at their wedding, at Eric's wedding. And Eli says to her, "If you decide to go, I'll be your date."
And she's like,
I'll think about it.
Well, he said he'll go with her,
and she said if she goes.
Like a date,
yeah,
like be my date. You gonna be my date?
Don't get me wrong, I don't necessarily care that we didn't discuss this, but there was some Rafe and Hope in a bed, I vaguely remember, and she was saying she doesn't want to rush into marriage.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes. It's almost like she was hesitant, and like Rafe was like ready to go, and she was just kind of like, "Why ruin a good thing?"
Yeah, yeah. But that looks like everything. Everything else, I'm kind of just glancing through my notes real quick, and it looks like we got everything.
Perfect.
Yep.
All right. Well then,
although we didn't talk about Billy Flynn quite enough. But.
And with that, we're going to go right into Tony's official 3 Snaps Award.
Oh, snap!
Thank you. All right, so I have to give my 3 Snaps Award to Brian Datillo because that scene in the church when he was basically going off on everyone, I was like, oh. But it wasn't a big like yes moment. It was like a yes. It's one of these like very golf ones like this. You're missing it. You're missing it because you're looking at the chat. It's a very golf one like yes. Yes, Lucas. Yes, tell them off in your drunken state.
I was looking for my quote of the week.
Okay. So that was that. That was Tony. So Brian Datillo, you get Tony's official 3 Snaps Award.
Oh, snap!
There was an honorable mention that I remembered earlier in the show and then I forgot.
That's why I keep my notepad and write things down.
I know. I should write things down.
Or I doodle Billy Flynn's name.
Of course you do. You and his name together. Aha! All right, and now it's time for Mark's Quote of the Week.
I know a lot of you had your hopes set on me choosing Victor from Monday because there were a lot of wonderful Victor moments, but something else really made me giggle. And so I'm going to go actually with Kate for getting my quote of the week this week. Andre says, "The board recognizes that I was a victim of scam artist known as Hattie Adams." And Kate says, "The board thinks you're gullible, a gullible fool who couldn't run a vegetable stand, much alone to Mira Enterprises."
That was a good one. That was a good one.
I was like, I was kind of, it was one of those moments where I was kind of half listening, and I went, "Did she just say vegetable stand?" And I rewound it and played it again. And that's always a good sign of somebody getting my quote of the week if I hit the rewind button and I go back and listen to it. So, Kate gets
Mark's Quote of the Week.
There we go.
It. And now it's time for Fan of the Week.
And Fan of the Week, I actually just went to our Twitter today, and I literally just picked this person because I loved her Twitter handle.
What is it?
Her name is Candace. Her Twitter handle is Candy Poo. CandyPooh. And I was like, I like that. She's going to get my Fan of the Week. So you didn't even have to do anything. You literally just signed up for Twitter, and you got my Fan of the Week. So Candace, loud and proud, I'm a follower on Twitter, Candy Poo. Candy Poo. She had some interesting stuff to say about the return of another character. So.
Okay, yes. All right, well, those are our segments, and now it's time to get into some news.
AfterBuzz
and gossip. All right, so as you guys already know, Day of Days is among us. That's right.
I think I told them the wrong date last week.
What did you tell them?
I said November 10th.
No, it's November 11th.
I guessed. But I was close. That was darn close.
You were close. It is November 11th. Day of Days will be here at Universal City Walk. So if you plan on visiting to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, it is a free event. It is open for all fans. So make sure you come. And maybe next week we'll have some news about our little
maybe. No one ate the pizza rolls last time, so I'm not making pizza rolls again.
Oh,
we had pizza rolls in that freezer for.
I think we bought too many bags, but I think we'll have other food. We also were horrible at like making them to make sure they were always around. Yeah. So there's that.
We can't hire staff.
This is true.
Maybe Sheila will come.
So she can sit and like eat potato chips.
Here.
Yeah. We also have happening in November, Eric Rocks Montreal. That's right. Eric Martsoff, as you all know as Brady Black.
You got this, girl. You got this.
Eric Martsoff, who you know as Brady Black, will be having a concert in Montreal, Canada, on November 18th. We'll post a flyer. On our social media so that you guys can take a look at that. But it is happening on November 18th. You can see Eric Martsoff in a way you've never seen him before.
Like in Vegas, when I saw him in Vegas.
This is true. This is true. I hate that
he
I
was
missed that
quite
show.
entertaining.
Yeah, I really wanted to see him.
Quite entertaining.
Yeah.
You could have cashed in your voucher that you've been carrying around.
Oh, you bring that up, girl. You bring that up, girl. You bring that up, girl. All right, and that's your news and gossip.
So yes, let me tell you what happened. We were in
Tell them. Go ahead.
And Tony had a voucher for the Bellagio. And I said, girl, you need to go cash that. And she said, girl, we ain't going to have time. And...
Skirt! Hold on. I had a $12.52 voucher to the Bellagio. We continue on through our day, and I kept saying, Mark, I have to make sure I go back and cash this out. Oh, girl, we got time, girl. We got time. Suddenly, it was time for us to leave Vegas. And it was like, girl, you don't have time. We get to the airport. We had plenty of time. To which she goes, oh, girl, you had time. And I'm like, girl, you owe me $12.52. And I want it. And I want it all. And that's it. That's Dishin Days for you. Yeah, that's a wrap. That's a wrap on that. Put a bow around it. I'm sorry that we didn't have time to take phone calls today. We started a little late, and so we didn't want to go over.
Next time.
But before we go, hey Mark, where can they find you on the social medias? That is wonderful. You can find me.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Lorraine Love, LORAYNE LOVE.
And of course, you guys can find us on social media, Dishin Days on Facebook and Instagram, and _Dishin Days on Twitter. And you can find me at Lounging with Tony or my website, loungingwithtony.com. Don't forget, right after this, we have Restless Wrap Up, GH Report, and Bold Breakdown.
Are they doing the Bold Breakdown?
Yeah. James is here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So make sure you guys tune in, support the soap block-ish thing that happens after us. And we'll be back next Sunday for another recap of NBC's #1 soap opera, Days of Our Lives. Thanks for tuning in to Dishin Days. We'll see you. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.